Hello, everyone. Hello. I am Colleen Vanderzijden, and I am the host of tonight's Lilydale radio show. The name of this show is called Embracing Your Essence. As you are joining in with me today, do say hello. I would love to see your name and where you're from. The name of my show is called Embracing Your Essence because it's all about you, who you are inside at your soul level, and how you can express that soul level person out here in the physical world. And tonight we are going to be talking about unshackled joy. This is the kind of joy where we are not tied to something, nothing is blocking our joy. It's where we're free to live our lives with as much joy as we want to have. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And before we get to all of that, of course, I must do the details. LilydaleAssembly.org is where you will find out everything that's happening in Lilydale, what workshops are this weekend, and even beyond. ColleenVanderzijden.com is my website where you can find out about me and what's going on in my life and see where I'm going to be when, for events, workshops, those kinds of things. And so as we do all this tonight, I did want to talk about this. This is so cool. Today is 2/22/22, as I'm sure you've heard. There are so many different astrological meanings of this, and I did see a post someplace that said we were reading into it a little too much, but I don't know. It's kind of fun to think about, isn't it? So I was looking it up, and it talked about emotions, intuition, balance, releasing the old, and intending what you want to do with your life. Okay, that's cool. Abundance, manifestation, and self-worth. Those are all the things that I love to talk about. So today must be a special day for me. And it is actually because, hello everybody, because my book came out today. It wasn't supposed to come out till tomorrow, but here we are. It came out today. So hello everybody. For some reason, oh, it's scrolling now. I couldn't get it to scroll. Ugh, I don't know what's up with me today. So hello to Ashley, Denise, Alyssa, Carla, Julie, thank you very much. Kelly, Denise, again, Elizabeth. So here it is. Here is my book. Don't worry, I won't do this every single week, but since it came out today, I have to do it today. So this is my book, Courageously You, and it is all about helping you live true to you. It's all about you knowing who you are, how awesome you are, person you truly are at your soul level. It's all about strategies to help you handle whatever crap is going on in your life. So if somebody's a jerk to you, you can look back at that book and go, oh, I'm going to do this magical mind game, and that's going to help me do better. So it's a great book, if I say so myself. And if you're interested in buying it, you can find it on Amazon. I actually just put the link up in my description of the radio show tonight so that I wouldn't have to remember to do it later, but it is there. So let me say hello to more people, and then we will get to our topic tonight. Hi, Steve. Haven't seen you in ages. Elizabeth, Kevin, Raquel. Beautiful. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. As I said, we are going to be talking about unshackled joy. And we are going to talk about the obstacles to joy, those barriers, and how we can reduce or release them. And we are going to do this really cool soul realignment meditation where we are to reconnect you to your soul so that you are back in that energy as much as possible. So you're aware of it so you can intentionally live from your soul's perspective. And that will be at the end because I have to, of course, talk about things first so we can lay the groundwork. I will try to go as fast as I can so I don't take forever tonight, but it is what it is, as you all know. As you're watching, feel free to make comments. I can see the ones on my page, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach. I can see those comments to them. I'm sorry, I cannot see the Lilydale Assemblies page. So if you have comments there, I will just comment on them afterwards. So feel free. I love when you guys give me questions or ask or make a statement or something. Oh, hi, Leanne. Hi, Michaela. Tell Ava I said hi. I haven't seen her in so long. So here we go. Let's talk about unshackled joy and how we can get more of it. So I was talking with a new friend the other day, and she said to me, "You're so joyful. How do you do that?" And I started thinking about my life. And you know how somebody asks me a question and I get thinking. And I recognized I haven't always been like this, okay? For those of you who have followed me for a while, you probably have heard some of my stories where I talk about how I was an anxious perfectionist, a stressed out control freak. I like to call myself sometimes the queen of stress because I knew how to create it and I was good at it. I was a person who denied and hid my emotions because I couldn't face I didn't want to go there. I also shared at times that I've gone through some bouts of depression throughout my life. And everything changed for me in the year 2000 when I woke up to the realization that I had no idea who I truly was. And that set me on this adventure of self discovery. And I tell that story in my book in more detail than I'm going to give you right now, but I tell it in there so that you can understand how we all can awaken to a different understanding of who. And my awakening set me on this path that led me directly to, as I like, more joy than I can possibly imagine. So many of us want things to happen quickly, quickly, but sometimes we have to make a little bit of an effort and we have to shift some things internally before the external happens. So we're going to be talking about this. We're going to talk about those things that block our joy, how we can let them go, and that really cool soul alignment meditation near the end. So stay with me for that. So when we understand who we are at the soul level, we start to realize that we are beings of love, and one of the ways we express our truth and love is through joy. Wouldn't it be great if we could embody joy? That joy was just overflowing from ourselves. Wouldn't that be wonderful? And if we could tap into this, no matter what problems or challenges we might be facing. So we don't have to allow our problems and challenges to limit our joy. We don't have to. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit more because I know somebody always has something to say about things like that. So if you could tap into it at all times, wouldn't that be amazing? And even if you're feeling fairly joyful right now, wouldn't it be nice if you could have more? Because joy is limitless. So if this joy is already within you, and it is, as a part of your soul, that joy is already there. So it's not that we have to go off and find it. It's not that we necessarily have to go do something special to have more joy. It's already within us. But where did it go? Why do we not feel it as much as we'd like? How come it's not as present as we want? How does it get suppressed and hidden? Where does this all go? Hi, Amanda. Hi, Julie. I say this a lot lately, and I'm probably going to keep saying it, but it's very important to understand. We have been conditioned and programmed to believe we aren't good enough, that we don't measure up in some way, that we're not smart enough. We've worked really hard to be accepted. And so frequently for many of us, how others perceive who we are becomes more important than who we perceive ourselves to be. In this society we have now, a lot of society and culture embraces success that is external, how you do financially, what you do for a living. And with all of this, we've kind of lost our way a little bit. We've disconnected from our soul and who we truly are. We've just disconnected. With all of these layers of false, disempowering beliefs and habits, which I'm always talking about with you guys, what has happened with all of that stuff is we have learned to make joy conditional. I can't have it because, and then there's a list of reasons why. Sorry. Hi, Darlene. Oh, thanks for ordering my book. Yay. So much fun. Anyway, so why can't we have more joy more of the time? Or maybe even all of the time, or awful close to all of the time. And so many times we'll say, well, because that's impossible. No one can be in joy all the time. Life is too hard. And granted, yes, I don't go around every minute of my day going, like a Pollyanna and not aware of what's happening around me, okay? But my perspective is one where I'm looking for joy. So I'm looking for the joyful moments, even if something is happening in my life. Sometimes people think they don't deserve joy because they did something wrong. I've had several clients over the past few years who, when they were children, they may have made some, we'll call them mistakes, in quotes. They may have made those mistakes and yet carry that with them, thinking, judging themselves and beating themselves up because they didn't do better back then. And I have a theory that we do the best we can. So if we've done something in the past that maybe wasn't exactly what we wanted it to be, or we made that mistake in quotes, we need to forgive ourselves for that and move on because we did the best we could. Okay. So sometimes people feel shameful and unworthy. And so that blocks their joy. And I know somebody out there just said, Colleen, you don't get it. So-and-so is dying. How can I be in joy? How can I find joy? My life is falling apart. I don't know how I'm going to go on. Got this problem or that problem, and there is no joy. I will never be happy again. I've heard that so many times from people who have lost important people in their lives, and I get it. I understand it. I've been there myself, and I've been in situations where I really did wonder, is it possible to go on? Is it even possible to find that joy again? And we are going to have situations in our lives that do knock us off our feet. They are absolutely going to happen. In the last few years, I've had some tumultuous, yeah, that was hard to say, and painful events in my life, but what I found, and this is why I really want to explain this, is because I have intentionally connected with the truth of my soul. I've been working on this for 20 something years, connecting with who I truly am, the truth of my soul. And because I've been playing with this over this time, I can get through these challenges faster. I've chosen to be intentional in my responses. And what happens then is I'm less reactive. So even with those times in our life where we're simply surviving, it's the best we can do, we can still connect to our innate joy. We do not have to block it due to our external physical circumstances. Okay? Hi, Ray. Thank you. I'm glad you got my book today. Look, I will just keep saying that throughout this show. Okay, it's one of my joys. No, really, it was a goal that I've dreamed about for a long time. So when we have these problems, these obstacles that block our joy, okay, they're all based on our perspectives, the direction in which we're looking, okay? It's so simple that it seems too simple. It depends on where we're looking. I came out of a store once, and this was just crazy. I came out of the store, and I happened to look left. It was a beautiful blue sky. The sun was shining. It was just brilliant, a brilliant summer day. And then I looked right, and there were these gigantic, dark storm clouds where it looked like it was going to downpour at any second. And I happened to be standing right, like on the line between the blue sky and the stormy sky. It was wild. So at that moment, I remember thinking, okay, which way do I look? Am I going to say, this is a beautiful day? Or am I going to go, oh, look at this. This might happen. It looks like I'm going to get rained on. I better start running so I can prepare myself, or whatever it is. So with our problems in life, with our lives, where are you looking? What's your perspective? Are you so fixated on your problems that you allow it to infiltrate your whole life? Would have a problem, and it was one small part of my life, but I allowed it to affect every other part of my life because I kept going back to it and looking at it and retelling that story, complaining and strengthening that negative energy where maybe I felt not good enough, or maybe I felt like life was too hard and I couldn't have a happier life. I kept going back to that, and it infiltrated everything about me. When I started to recognize that I didn't have to go back there, that I could shift it, and I could shift that with my intention. I could shift it by shifting my perspective. I could shift it by being true to myself and getting back to what's really most important. Lots of times people believe they're a victim. They don't say to themselves, I'm a victim, but they're the people who go around and blame other people for everything else, or they blame their circumstances. And yes, and I want to make sure I'm very clear, as usual, that yes, we are going to have challenges. And when we have those challenges, we go back and we experience the emotion that goes with them. So we may be sad, we may be upset, we might be angry. Yes, experience it. But don't get stuck there, okay? Acknowledge it, and then see what you got to do. Use that energy, use the emotion to figure out how you're going to move forward. But also look at the rest of your life, especially if it's something that's uncertain and out of your control. Okay, if it's out of your control and you can't change the situation, then what can you do otherwise to feel better? And I will talk about that in 2 seconds. Leanne, we have to remember, I'm going to make sure I can see the more, in those moments that no matter how hard it feels, we will go on. I was just having this conversation with my family today as we plan to bury my grandmother this week. I'm so sorry, Leanne. The knowledge of knowing we will go on brings a certain level of joy to a hard situation. It really does. When we understand that we've gotten through tough stuff in the past, it also, in this, with the loss of a person, when we understand our soul does continue on, that does help. So we're going through our lives and we're wondering where our joy went, and we're wondering why we don't have more, why it doesn't stay there. I'm going to talk about a couple other reasons, a couple other situations where you might have your joy be blocked or something might be wrong there. Sometimes people will say things as simple as, I'll be happy when this happens or when this is over. So we delay our joy for another time or later or a someday that may or may not ever come. We have made, so many of us, our joy conditional on our external lives being better. The solution to the obstacles that block your joy is to choose to live with intention. It's to choose to live with intention. We want to choose your focus. And as I said earlier, I'm going to do a really cool soul realignment meditation at the end. And so I'm laying the groundwork right now, just talking about what gets in our way, why we can't have more joy, what is happening here. And then we'll do this meditation to strengthen your connection to your soul. And that, you will see, will help you expand your capacity for joy. You already have that joy within you. We are just going to accelerate and amplify it so you can access it at all times, or most times. Okay, so I have a friend whose parents are very ill, and she has been taking care of them. Now, her focus is on the present and the gift of time that she has with them now. She's not focused on the potential pain of the future. She is well aware of the potentials that are there, but she has chosen to be intentional with her perspective. She's looking at the beauty and the gift of spending this time with her parents. She's so grateful to have this opportunity to be there for them, to love them, to express those things that both of them, all of them, may have wanted to express. And she says it's deepening their relationship. And she is so grateful for this time. So she's making conscious, aware choices in her responses. When we live intentionally, we want to question our beliefs. We want to understand if our intentional, or are we living and reacting from habit? As I was awakening over 20 years ago, I finally understood that I was responsible for how I experienced my life. I didn't have to be the pinball in the game of life, bouncing from one problem to another, emotionally reactive, and retelling my story about how awful my life was. That was a pattern. That was a habit. That was what I was used to doing. I had been living with a misguided attempt to protect myself from other people's judgment or criticism. I had believed I wasn't worthy or deserving. So during that whole time before I woke up, I can tell you that I was not a very happy person. There was very little joy going on in my life. And after I woke up and I started questioning everything, questioning my beliefs, understanding who I truly was, I learned to intentionally make the choice to let go of anything that was keeping me stuck in pain or feelings of unworthiness. I made the choice to let go of reacting and to choose my response. And as time went on, as I played with these ideas, I was surprised to see my stress had significantly decreased and my joy had expanded and increased. I had no idea that was going to happen. All I knew was that I was trying to live to the best I could, being responsible for myself. As I was living with intention, I would ask myself all the time, what can I do to make myself feel better? I was reclaiming my responsibility. I found I usually had a belief that I had to change about myself or the situation. I had spent so much of my time suppressing or hiding my emotions that I was really surprised on my journey, my adventure of awakening, to recognize when I stepped into my emotions, all of them, I ended up happier. Many of us avoid or deny the difficult emotions. We push them aside, hoping they're just going to go away, magically disappear, right? But in doing that, what happens is we're not fully experiencing life. And if we're suppressing the difficult emotions, we are also learning how to suppress the positive emotions like joy, peace, love, whatever it is. Think about that. Sometimes when something really good happens or you're feeling joy and then all of a sudden your mind is off and running, well, that's not going to last. You don't deserve that. You start scanning the horizon looking for the next worst thing that's going to pop up into your life. You ever have that experience where things are going well and you're feeling anxious, you're looking around, you're waiting for the next thing, If something good happens, that must mean something bad is coming, That's an old belief that many people have. So with all this, we aren't comfortable in experiencing the positive emotions either. So this is blocking our joy as well. We didn't even know probably that. I didn't know that for the longest time. I read this really cool book, and you should read it. It's called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and it's all about expanding your upper limits. Those times where you think you've reached the top, but yet you can accept more love, you can accept more joy, you can accept these things. Yes, Ashley's saying, always waiting for the ball to drop, right? And so much of that does come from our life experiences because we have problems and then we're like, oh, what's going to be next? Here we go again. My daughter and we don't do it anymore. We used to joke about it. Things come in threes. Oh, so and so died. Somebody else died. Oh no. And then, oh, who's going to be next? Oh, we've got our three. Now we can relax. Right? That's like this old fashioned, I don't know, superstitious belief that got ingrained in our culture that many of us have picked up. So it's really interesting when I realized that to have more joy, to expand my capability for joy, it meant that I had to also expand my capability to handle the difficult emotions, the ones that I really didn't want to feel, the anxiety, the fear, or the sadness, whatever it was. I had to kind of step into those. And it sounds a little bit counterintuitive. Oh, you mean you're going to feel sad so you can be happy? What happens is you're expanding, you're processing the emotions sooner, so you get out of the difficult ones faster, and then you can move forward as you need to. The same thing with the joy. You're processing the joy, and then you want to sit in it and allow it to come over you. You do this, really feel your emotions, it will expand your joy. But this is intentionally allowing your emotions to be seen and felt. So living with intention is so important to embodying the innate joy that is already within you. We don't want to be reactive. We want to be intentional. This, as I was going through my life here, I became intentional with the thoughts, beliefs, actions, behaviors. I stopped mindlessly reacting. This strengthened the connection to my soul because I was living authentically as my soul. I was in my soul's power. And with that, the joy just bubbles over. Have you ever met somebody who just seems so happy all the time? Their energy is just amazing, so clear. And you think to yourself, wow, how do they do that? What's going on in their lives? And it's because they're probably connected with their soul. You look at somebody like the Dalai Lama who's always laughing all the time. He could be fixated on Tibet. He could be moaning about that, but he's not doing that because he's living from his soul's perspective. So he's recognizing the power he has to shift his perspective and be intentional in his response. When you're intentional, that releases the obstacles to joy. When I'm in my soul's power, my energy is clear. And I let go of those disempowering beliefs, the limiting beliefs, and the energy shifts. In the metaphysical world, we talk about raising our vibration, right? And what that means is we're letting go of the lower energies, the lower vibrations that might be related to stress, worry, pain, limiting thoughts, anything that blocks our truth. When we start to process those and let them go, our vibration will raise. When you're intentional, choosing to let go of those things that are no longer of service to you, your vibration will raise. Then you step more fully into that power of your soul and the vibration of your soul. And remember, your soul is the divine universal energy of love. So to help you rapidly realign your soul, we are going to do an energetic meditation that's going to help strengthen your soul connection and release anything that is limiting your joy. Now, if you have just joined in and you don't know what we're doing here, we have been talking about the unshackling things that block our joy. So unshackled joy. Shackle is a word that means you're tied to things. And we have been tied to the old ways of doing things. We have been tied to the old beliefs. We have been tied to the idea that we don't have the power to change our lives. We have been tied to the idea that we're not good enough. So unshackled means we're letting all of that go so that we can reclaim that innate joy that is within us. As we do this meditation that I'll do start in just a moment, what we're doing is we're working with the energy, with intention. And in this meditation, we're going to amplify and strengthen our intention and goals. Whenever we work with energy, that's what happens. Today, being 2/22/22, we have the added bonus of the energy of the universe being with us today. So when we work with this, we're in that energy of the universe. And as we are in that energy, the insights flow faster. You may find that synchronicity and manifestation are quicker at this time. We're going to immerse ourselves in the energy of the flow of the divine, amplifying the abundance. We're going to amplify the good, the love, the manifestation, the joy. We're going to get more clarity on who we are and how we live, purely by choosing to step into our soul's light. That's what we're doing tonight. Isn't that fun? It's so cool. So, in alignment with our soul, for practical matters, that's when we become more intentional, living from the soul's perspective. If you remember nothing else I've said tonight, when you are living intentionally with awareness, you are living from your soul's perspective. You're opening and allowing the joy to re-emerge. Remember when you watch a child and how children can be so happy? That bliss, that's what we're aiming for. We want that. We want more and more and more of that. We're going to be joy greedy. How about that? That's a good one. So it's time now to embody our soul's truth and joy. It is time. The world needs our joy. The world needs our truth. And we are going to expand upon that tonight. So if you want to go with me tonight and play with it, we are going to start right now. So what you want to do is you want to take a nice breath, close your eyes, just take a nice breath and close your eyes. And with your breath, you're going to intend to relax. And just keep breathing nice and deeply and relax. And for a moment, just touch your heart area, just gently, and affirm to yourself that your intention for this meditation this evening is to connect to your unique, individual, amazing, awesome soul. Set your intention that you are going to connect to your joy. You're going to expand it. You're going to step into your innate joy and embrace every little bit of it. And just feel that as you keep breathing. Feel that intention. Breathe it in and know it is true. In the heart area is the essence of who you truly are. And you can put your hand down if you like, or keep it there if you like. We are going to work with that soul energy right now, and to keep breathing and feel that energy. Now I'd like you to visualize your soul as a beautiful, luminescent, glowing light. This light would be about the size of your hand or a little smaller. It is nestled deep within your soul's heart, in the heart. It's deep within there, deep within the energy. As you look at it and continue to breathe deeply, you might notice that this beautiful glowing light is clear. It might be white light, or maybe it even has colors. Just look at it and see what you notice. Keep breathing. There may be bits of light that sparkle within it like stars, twinkling and vibrant. Your soul's light is going to look as it does to you because it's your soul's light. Just visualize it and know that it's within your energy field at this time. You'll notice that the soul's light gently moves. It might expand a little, it might contract. It's almost like there's a small breeze causing it to sway or even slightly change shape. Your soul's light is a life force. Just keep breathing, visualizing it. You might even start feeling something now. This soul's light is a conduit and a connection to the universe. Although it appears to you to only be about the size of your hand or smaller, as you're looking at it, You can tell that there is a depth within it. It is not of the physical world. It goes beyond that. And as you look at this depth within it, you understand that if you were to intentionally connect even stronger, being open as much as possible, and sending your energy even further into it, take a deep breath and that your energy go even deeper into it. As you do this, you understand you have access to the divine wisdom that is within you and all around you. And keep breathing. Look deeply at it. Look in it. Look within it. Allow anything that wants to come out to you. Allow it to be. Allowing. As you breathe, you're strengthening this connection. You understand you are a limitless being filled with innate joy. Breathe it in. And what does this innate joy feel like to you? You might start to feel some tingling in your body. Your energy is becoming more clear. And as your energy becomes more clear, it does affect your physical body. So if you start to feel sensations in your physical body, allow them to be. There is no right or wrong. You might feel tingling, hot, cold. You might feel dizzy. You might feel more grounded. You might feel as though you're having the best meditation of your life and you're so high up there. Whatever it might be, notice how you're feeling. You might start moving, mirroring the soul's motion. Keep breathing and connecting, open and allow. There are no limits. Nothing is blocking you from feeling this. Go deeply and allow. As you connect, you might start to notice that emotions might be bubbling up. You might start to feel a release. You may need to cry. You may need to sigh. You might be moving into a blissful state where the joy is starting to feel like a little too much, but open up and allow it to come in even more. You might move into laughter. Allow it to come up as it is. We may have to release some things to allow more joy to come in. If that's the case for you, allow them to come in and come right back out. Feel that joy. Keep breathing. Keep allowing it. Just sit with it and breathe it in. If you're receiving any kind of messages or guidance, intend that you will remember it after we end this meditation. Allow it to be impressed upon you. If you're just, in quotes, enjoying being in this space, this beautiful space where the joy is coming in stronger and stronger, allow yourself to accept it. Open and allow. You are aligning with the truth of your soul. It's always been there. It just got hidden. Now we're just opening that doorway and we're going to make it a little bit easier. Acknowledge that you are the love and the light of your soul. You are that. You are the joy. It is with every cell of your physical body and permeates your energetic field. It is everything within you. Keep breathing and affirm to yourself, you are the joy. Affirm to yourself your intention to live in the soul's truth, from the soul's perspective. Keep breathing and allow it to expand within you. Anything that was blocking your joy in the past was an illusion. You get it now. You had been operating under an old, outdated system where the emphasis was on your external physical existence. You had been programmed to disconnect internal from your truth, from your soul. It's not your fault. But now you understand. So much of your life was based on false, disempowering information, but no longer. We release those illusions. We let them go. And instead, we set our intention that from this moment forward, you will view your life from the soul's perspective. From this moment forward, you are choosing to live from your soul. Breathe and allow. You have the guidance, help, and strength from your soul, as well as from the divine energy and the universe. You are one with that. You are not alone. You will always be guided to where you need to be. Choose to realign with your soul in everything you do. Keep breathing and feel that energy. It's within the feeling that our energy shifts. We can intellectually understand something, but to feel it is where the shifts come in. Feel the light and choose to go even deeper. You've got this. You can do this. You are totally, absolutely connected and one with the divine wisdom and the universal energy. You are one with it. Breathe it, feel it. Be one. You are a being filled with joy. This joy is innate within you. It is always, always there. And you have the power to choose it. Breathe and understand that purely with your intention alone, a simple breath, you can return to this feeling and space at any time. Breathe and feel and reaffirm one more time that from this point forward, you will live from the soul's perspective. And as you're breathing, start to notice if you're sitting in a chair, notice your feet on the ground. Notice the back of the chair behind you. Start to touch in again with your body and how you're feeling. Keep breathing and stay relaxed. Keep breathing. And as you're coming back into the room here, so to speak, just take a deep breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return back to this moment in the physical, but with that new understanding, realigned with your soul. Okay, and as you're joining in with me again, if you're coming back with me, let me know how that felt. When this meditation came in for me the other day, I was like, oh man, this is impressive. This is powerful. And all we have to do is intend it. Living in intention, again, I'm going to say it again, is the answer to embracing that innate joy that's within you all the time. So definitely, once you get back here, start writing me a couple messages so I can see you've returned to the room. And I will just chat for a moment and we will continue, and then I will be done in this minute. So I didn't get a chance to look up what was happening in Lilydale this weekend, just because I've been doing a little bit of traveling. But I'm sure there's something here this in Lilydale this weekend for you. That was fun. Thank you. I felt the tingling. I could see a ball of light with some color. So interesting. You know, there's so many different ways to do a meditation, and lots of times we do go with the light because the light is important, and that's, you know, who we are at that soul level. And intending to step in it really can help. If we were to practice and play with this with some regularity, that would help us like a meditation that we might do every day for just a few moments. That's going to help strengthen our connection to it even further. And it's also going to keep raising our vibration as we go. And that's fun. So let's see. What else did I have to tell you? There was something else I had to tell you. Hi, Darlene. Dolores is peaceful. Good. It's really, and if you had any, oh, I forgot to tell you this. If you had some really good insights, do jot them down. I like to have a notebook or a pad next to my chair when I'm meditating because sometimes I get some really good thoughts, insights, understandings that I might not have gotten otherwise. Now, although I talk about my story of awakening in my book, everything else I've talked about tonight is not in my book. That is all new information for you. I'm trying not to repeat things in my book too much, except for some of my magical mind games, So, of course, Kelly, wonderful, purposeful, yes. And if anybody got some cool insights they want to, that would be great as well. So I'm just going to mention my book one more time, and then I will stop doing that. But anyway, the book was written because the whole point of it is to help you be yourself, to help you get out of being stuck in those false beliefs, stuck in feeling judged by other people or judged by yourself, to help you get out of feeling stuck in the idea that you have no control or power over your life. So there's lots of magical mind games in there to help you shift your perspective, to help you get your power back. And I guarantee you 100 million %, I always say that, because I am an exclamation person and I own it, that if you play with these ideas, they will change your life. And the whole point of doing this is to help people. It's not to become famous or anything like that. That's not my point. My point is to share some of these ideas because they've really helped me become happier. They've really helped me release my stress and those things that get in my way. And even to this day, if something happens that's disturbing or an unpleasant turn of events, I have a strategy that's going to help me get back to me. So you can find my book on Amazon and any place books are sold. There is a paperback out now, but the ebook is coming. I thought for sure I would have had the final file of that today, but I did not get it. But once it's approved, and probably tomorrow morning, which was supposed to be my official date, but since everything got well lined up, today is now my official date. So it'll probably be up tomorrow. So if you're an ebook person, just keep checking back on Amazon, and you will find it there in not so long here. Ray is saying, see. Smile and got a little dizzy, peaceful. Yeah, it's fun sometimes when we touch into that energy. If you are watching me instead of your eyes closed, you might have seen me start to sway. Whenever I get in the energy of my soul, the energy of spirit, lots of times I will sway. And a good meditation can get us a little high up here. I used to teach a group in public school called, what did I call it? Power something. Powerfully Me. That's the name of. Oh, that's something I could mention. I'll come back to that. It was Power something group, and I would teach them different things, kind of like this. And I had a lot of kids in there who were experimenting with drugs and stuff like that. Not all of them, but just a few. And at the end of one of the classes where you've done this meditation, they said, that's better than getting high. And I thought, oh my, that's interesting. Yes, and here's something to mention. For my book, I do have a downloadable workbook that can be used in conjunction with it. It has some things you can fill out in there because the beginning of the book there is some writing, but after that, the magical mind games and things to do and some resources. So you'll find the link for the Powerfully Me downloadable ebook in the introduction of the book, and then you can just download it right there, and you'll have that. And I have an idea for something else that I'm going to get ready in the next month or so. A little gift for everybody who buys the book. And if you sign up for the Powerfully Me ebook, you'll be in that email stream, and I'll just attach it to that. Don't worry, I'm not going to be spamming you and sending you an email every day. I hate that. So no worries on that. I'm not going to do that. Never will I do that. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, so that is really all I want to talk about tonight. So I'm Colleen Vanderzijden. Connect with me, ColleenVanderzijden.com. Follow me on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzijden, medium and intuitive life coach. One last time, here it is. This is 26 years of work. I didn't know what I was going to write 26 years ago. I woke up about 22 years ago. So 22 years it took me to come up with All these strategies that I use, and they help me to live my best life. And if you go on the Amazon, if you click on the back of the book, you can actually see the endorsements on the back. They're not on Amazon just yet because apparently I'm supposed to do that, and I didn't find that out till just like an hour ago. But I will do that soon. Okay, that is the end of my advertising of my book. Thank you for putting up with me and my excitement here. And let's see, lilydaleassembly.org. And that is all. You guys have the most splendid week. I will not be here next week. I'm sorry. I am going to be driving, and so I will be traveling, but I will be here the following week. So you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time. Bye.